welcome back to my channel, and welcome to my second installment of Minerals and Makeup. This is a series that I'm doing on my channel where I combine my two loves, makeup and crystals, and I do my makeup and teach you and teach myself about a mineral at the same time while doing a makeup look inspired by that mineral. If you missed my first episode of this, it was Moonstone, so definitely go check that out. But today we are doing Emerald. It feels very timely with the month of March, St. Patrick's Day. It's one of my favorite colors, green, as you can see. I love this color. So yeah, we're gonna get right into it. And I'm excited to put some makeup on my face. So if you wanna see what kind of look I create inspired by the mineral emerald, then keep on watching. Alright, first step is to clip this hair back. I'm also realizing I didn't bring a mirror out again, so I need to do that. I have a mirror right here actually, like a big one, but I feel like I need a small handheld one, so I'm not looking in the viewfinder the whole time. I also did really Virgo-y research, and we're gonna break this down into three kind of segments. The first one's gonna be science, then we're gonna do metaphysics, and then astrology and birthstones for Emerald. So I'm very excited. Let me just remind myself of what makeup look I want to do. I think I saved them on my Pinterest. But basically, we're just gonna put like green all over my eyeballs. I did buy a purple blush because purple and green are complementary colors, so I feel like those could look good together. And I have green eyes, so like I try to put like purpley tones in wherever I can. But we'll see how that looks on me today. I'm also have a spray tan on, so I have to use some darker colors. Where's my screen? That look. So I'm gonna try to do that. I hope I have enough like bright green, but we'll see. I'm gonna start with my primer. I really like this Essence, the Good Stuff. I think it's a dupe of the watermelon like glow serum that's way too expensive from Glow Recipe. We're just gonna hydrate the skin with this. Okay, Emerald. So emerald is a variety of hexagonal beryl, which is a group of crystals composed of beryllium. And this means that emeralds are related to aquamarine, morganite, helidor, and others in the beryl group. They have a pretty fancy chemical formula, and I'll put it right here on the screen because it's been a long time since my chemistry days. I was a chemistry class whiz, but I think you would call that like a beryllium aluminum silicone oxide, maybe. I'm gonna put on this Power Grip primer by e.l.f. too. It's like a dupe for the Milk Makeup one. The Milk Makeup one I actually hate. It does not sit well on my skin, but the e.l.f. one I like. And that's a win because it's cheaper. Love that. It's very sticky. Okay, emeralds are quite rare actually, because they have a limited geographic environment which they can grow in. They form in contact with metamorphic rocks and the narrow baked zone where hot liquid magma, comes into contact with sedimentary rocks like limestone and shale, and then it forms emerald. Many emeralds come from contact metamorphosed black shale beds. And black shale is often the thinnest bed that's in a sedimentary rock sequence, so there's a very little potential host rock for the starters. So it's rare. Some emeralds do form in limestone, that have been subjected to contact metamorphism. So if you remember your earth science days, if you took that in school, that's what's happening. And then of course all the correct, minerals from that chemical formula have to be kind of happening in there too to form emeralds. So not a lot of places on Earth, or I guess there's quite a few places, but not a lot of like perfect conditions for this to happen. I am going to use a brand new product that I bought the other day. This is the House Labs Triclone Skin Tech Foundation. I'm gonna try shade 160 Light Neutral. Hopefully that is my color. But this is by Lady Gaga, and if you know me, you know that's my queen. My queen, my mother monster. And I only have a few of her makeup products, so I said, you know what? We're getting the foundation. I need to get a mirror though. From what I hear, this foundation is very high coverage, so hopefully this is the right color for me. It looks a little light, but if it oxidizes, or you know, you can always bronze it up though. But can you tell I love the color brown? So much brown. I'm really into my brown face. Ooh, this is pretty. Very pretty. It looks pale in the lights, but I guess it matches. It looks good in like real life. Okay, emerald. So some experts estimate that it takes up to 100,000, yes, 100,000 years for a fully developed emerald to occur in nature. Some wonder if it really takes that long, but I will always link my sources down in the description box if you want to like read up on any of this or do your own research. I try to pick credible sources, especially for the science part, like MnDOT. But yeah, if you've ever tried to shop around for emeralds, you probably understand this. They're expensive. They are not cheap. So they take a long time to form and they need those perfect conditions. And you pay for that when you buy one. Okay, I really like this foundation. I don't know if you can tell. I look very washed out on camera, but in person, it's beautiful. Like, I barely used any, and it gave nice coverage. I don't like super full coverage because I, not to like toot my own horn, but like I have nice skin. So after hundreds and hundreds of dollars spent on esthetician services, but I really like that. Looks good. And you could probably layer it up. So I am a fan. All right, so where can you find an emerald? In the wild. The majority of gem quality emeralds come from the Muzo area of Colombia, the country, in South America. And I'm going to use the House Labs concealer too. I just bought this. I said, why not try both? And I am like a Fenty concealer girl through and through. So to try a new concealer, nerve-wracking. So yeah, the Muzo area of Colombia, and I'll put a nice little map up on the screen so you can see where that is and visualize. So the color of emerald, because we mentioned that it's a beryl, so we know that it has cousins, but the color of it, that beautiful bright green color that we all love, is caused by trace amounts of chromophore, like chromium and vanadium. Science. That's a nice concealer. I look pale, but not in person. We have to bronze still. We have to bronze still. Okay. I have a lot of sciencey notes on emerald. I went hard on this one. Let's see. So, the hardness of emeralds. They are about a 7.5 to 8 on the Mohs scale. And if you've never heard of the Mohs scale before, it goes from 1 to 10, and it characterizes scratch resistance of minerals through the ability of harder minerals to scratch those softer materials. So higher numbers equal harder and more resistant. So if you're like making jewelry, you're definitely going to want something that is has a higher number on the Mohs scale. And emerald is like a 7.5 to a 8, which is pretty good. And that's why I think you see a lot of emerald jewelry. This is also a new product. This is a dupe of the Charlotte Tilbury. This is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wand in medium 10. And it blends very easily. And the color is nice. Not too warm, which is good. Doesn't dry too fast. That's really pretty. It's hard for me to find a contour product that I like. I feel like it would work when I'm pale and when I'm tan, so love that. Look at the glow. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Look at my notes. So, the word emerald, where does that derive from? As many things in our vernacular do nowadays, it derives from ancient Greek, and a little down here. It comes from the word smaragdos. I hope I'm saying that right. Which literally means green gem in ancient Greek. So, fitting name. Love that. Thank you, Greeks. Emeralds and other precious gemstones are graded on the 4 C's, which is color, clarity, cut, and carat. So, let's kind of dive into each of those. Color and clarity are the top 2 kind of criteria that determine an emerald's grade. And the grades, you've probably heard these shopping for crystals. You're like, oh, this is A grade, this is B grade, this is AAA grade. Like, that's how the quality of crystals and gemstones is talked about. So color and clarity are the big 2 for emerald. Of course, the others matter as well, but those are the 2 that are really going to determine the quality and like price, honestly, of an emerald. It's enough of that, because I'm going to put on more bronzer. The skin is looking good, though. It's looking good. That's a mole. I love this combination. Wait. Okay. All right. So, let's move on. Oh, I'm going to do cream blush. Okay, we're pulling out the purple. This is by About Face Beauty, which is by Halsey. And this is in the color Jumpstart. And it's literally pure purple. The packaging is super cute, though. It's giving, like, Claire's in the best way. Oh, okay, that's, like, purple. I'm scared to put it on my face. We're going to put, like, the smallest dot, like, right here. And see what happens. It's cute. Okay, it blends out really nicely. It's not crazy. And that looks really good. I like that. All right, let's do the other side. Not as nice. Okay, so emeralds tend to have inclusions and surface fissures when they're raw. And I think a lot of us have probably seen like those people that like pull out the little magnifying glass like that, and they are looking at gems to kind of grade them and determine the quality of them. But emeralds are actually graded by eye. They don't rely on that kind of microscopic look to determine their grade. So if the inclusions and the surface fissures are not present by eye, then it's considered a flawless emerald. So fun little fact. Okay, I really like this blush. That's cute. Zoomed in a little and it looks like I'm naked, but I swear I have a shirt on. So the inclusions and the fissures in emeralds are sometimes called jardin or jardin. I don't know. It's French. I took Spanish, but it's French for garden. And that's because of the kind of mossy appearance that they have when they have those little inclusions. I personally love inclusions in my minerals. I'm not like a high quality gem, like, oh my god, that's the most beautiful, perfect emerald I've ever seen, put it in a stone, like put it in a ring for me type of person. But I feel like I would like a little mossy inclusion in my emerald. I don't know. That's just me. Time to set these creams. I did buy a new Charlotte Tilbury powder because I'm getting low. And this is expensive powder. Like this is like $49 for a small little compact. But I've literally had this exact one for... I've had this exact compact for probably 3 years, more, less, I don't know. And I've hit pan, but like it's lasted a long time. So in my opinion, it's worth it. And I notice the difference when I wear this versus other powders. So I just bought a new one for when this one finally runs out. I'm gonna set under my eyes and over my eyes and anywhere that I put that concealer, basically. But the skin is skinning. It looks freaking fabulous. And I'm gonna account that to Gaga's product from House Labs, honestly, because queen shit. Okay, so back to the fissures. Emeralds are usually oiled when they're processed to fill up those gaps and improve the clarity and stability of the stone. So, you know, emerald jewelry is going to kind of be filled in to kind of account for any of those imperfections of the raw stone. So the jardins are gone. But next I'm using the Lancome, what is this? Absolute powder in Absolute Pearl. It has a little bit of radiance to it. Jaclyn Hill told me that I needed this years ago, and it's like a $60 powder, which is freaking insane. But it is pretty, and I just use it sparingly because, girl, who has enough money for $60 powder? Apparently I did at the time, but holy moly. It is beautiful though, and it's good for when I'm a little tanner because it has that pearl peachy tone to it. So I just set that all over. Next we need to do bronzer and blush. I didn't pull out a powder blush, so I need to go and grab that actually. So let me just put this through my brows real quick. This is the NYX brow tease, and I have microbladed brows and kind of honestly full brows as it is, so I don't really need a lot for them. I just kind of move the hairs up into place and give them a little bit of zhuzh. So I am not the brow girl. Like I literally only have to do this. And they look good to me. I don't know, I like a messy kind of natural looking brow anyway, so there's the brows. Okay, so emeralds were mined in ancient Egypt in the locations of Mount Smaragdus. And that's that Latin word, that Greek Latin word, meaning green gem. So, you know, if you think about your history, things coming down into Egypt, calling it Mount Smaragdus, Mount Smaragdus, Mount Green Gem. Since 1500 BC, they were getting emeralds out of there. And also in India and Austria since 14th century AD. So, you know those ancient Egyptians, they love their gems. They love their gems. And honestly, same. Okay, putting on some bronzer. This is the NYX Buttermelt. This shit is pigmented. Pigmented. Like, you need to dap it like whoop, and then be so careful because whew, otherwise you're gonna look like a muddy mess. But I love it because you know I love a bronzer. I love a bronzer. And if you ever put on too much bronzer, you can go back over it with like your face powder that you set your concealer with. But in my opinion, there's rarely ever too much bronzer, especially when I'm tan. So the Egyptian mines, they were exploited on an industrial scale when the Romans invaded Egypt, of course. So during the Roman empires and both and the Byzantine Empire, when they came into Egypt and kind of exploited those mines, and then also later by Islamic conquerors. So the mining in Egypt kind of slowed down and ceased with the discovery of the Columbian mines, and today only ruins remain in Egypt. So no more emeralds coming out of Egypt anymore. And that's kind of just like the story of colonialism in general. Like, they figure out you've got something good, they come in and they freaking deplete it and then move on to the next best thing. So, you know, history repeats itself. So with the discovery of the Columbian mines, it is now by far the largest producer of emeralds in the world. So a lot that you're going to see out on the market that are that really, really pristine quality are Colombian. They constitute 50 to 95% of the world production, depending on the year. It varies a little bit, but generally of the vast majority come from Colombia. And surprisingly, Zambia is actually the second world producer of emeralds. Let me get my blush. Okay, to keep on the like purpley train, I'm gonna go in my NYX Buttermelt blush too. Very purple toned, so. All right, so we talked about Colombia, we talked about Zambia, but emeralds are really found all over the world. And they're found in countries like Afghanistan, Australia, Austria, Brazil, Bulgaria, Cambodia, Canada, China, Egypt, Ethiopia, France, Germany, India, Kazakhstan, Madagascar, Mozambique, Namibia, Nigeria, Norway, Pakistan, Russia, Somalia, South Africa, Spain, Switzerland, Tanzania, United States, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. So, all over. In the US, emeralds have been found in Connecticut, Montana, Nevada, North Carolina, and South Carolina. And in 1998, emeralds were discovered in the Yukon Territory of Canada. So fun. So while emeralds are found in almost every continent, except Antarctica, and are pretty widespread, like we mentioned at the beginning, they do require those really specific conditions to form geologically. So maybe it like ties back to Pangea. Probably. Most things go back to Pangea. That'd be interesting to look at. Okay. There's my blush. So cute. I always like to put a little extra blush on because I feel like it does kind of fade away during the day sometimes, so compensation. Okay, I think all the powders are on my face. I'm gonna spray some setting spray to like melt it all together, and then we're gonna start on the eyes. So let me spray this real quick with the first spray, and then kind of just let it soak all those powders together. Really get it all melted in. All right, so you saw that eye look. I got this new About Face cream. This is the Fluid Eye Paint in Vertigo. So we're gonna try this out, kind of probably for a base, and then we'll darken it with some other powder shades. I do want to talk to you about some notable emeralds because there's some fancy schmancy ones out there. Wait, is this gonna work? Okay. So kind of like the first big Fancy Schmancy emerald. This one is from, or it's called Chipembele. And it's from Zambia in 2021. Here it is. It is 7,525 carats, which is 1.505 kilograms. That's a big ass emerald. Like, holy crap. Oh, that's green. Oh, shit. Oh, that is green. The second one is the Bahia emerald, and that is from Bahia, Brazil. And that came out of the ground in 2001. I bet you some of you weren't even born in 2001. I was 4. And it is 180,000 carats. 180,000 carats. It is crystals and host rock. So it's 752 pounds, which is 341 kilograms. And it's valued at 250 million euros. So if anyone has 250 million euros laying around, you know, you could be the owner of the Bahia Emerald. So, that's number 2 on the list. Number 3 is called the Carolina Emperor, which just sounds so fancy. And it is from the United States. I think it's from South or North Carolina. And it was found in 2009. It's 310 carats uncut gems. And it's 64.8 carats cut. And it's beautiful. That would be a hell of a rock on your finger. You know what I mean? That green color is so bright. But we're going to darken it up, obviously. I want to keep it nice and bright around my lash line. And then I think I want to put a little of this on the lower lash line. I always do just like brown eyeshadow, smoky eye. So that's why I love this series, because it's forcing me to like get out of my comfort zone with makeup too. And like experiment. And do things that I normally wouldn't wear to the grocery store, but I don't want to fuck it up. Moving on to the Chalk Emerald, and this one was found in Colombia in, well, I don't know what year actually. It was 38.4 carats cut and then recut to 37.82 carats, but she's gorgeous. So fun. Okay, Halsey. I really enjoyed these paints from her. I have a few and I really like them. Okay, then we have the Patricia Emerald. This came from Colombia in 1920, and it is 632 carats uncut. It's dihexagonal, which is 12-sided. And if you're in New York City, it's in the American Natural History Museum. So you should definitely go check out the Patricia Emerald. I want to. I go to New York for this from work all the time, and I really want to get to the museum there. So I would love to find the Patricia Emerald. And then the last emerald that I wanted to kind of mention is notable is the Rockefeller Emerald. It was found in Colombia. It's 18 carats. And what's so special about it is that it's the largest flawless, which we know means it has no fissures and inclusions to the eye. So it's flawless. It's the largest flawless emerald in the world. And the most expensive emerald, cut like that, at 5.5 million US dollars. So that doesn't scream Rockefeller. I don't know what does. We're going to move into the metaphysics of emerald. That's all I had for you in science. Class is over. We're going to move into the woo-woo stuff. I'm going to pull out my James Charles palette because this has the greens in it that I need. I got this forever ago when I was like hoarding makeup like a squirrel. I randomly got one of the 500 that he signed, and I'm like not even a James Charles fan like that anymore, at least. But I have a signed palette from James Charles, so this palette's incredible if you do like colorful looks. I will say it's got like literally everything you could need. And he actually is from, his hometown is very close to where I live now. He's from upstate New York, if you didn't know. All right, so I'm gonna dive into, or I'm gonna actually set this creamy stuff from Halsey. There's basically a color that matches it exactly in here, and I'm gonna set it with that first. So the metaphysics of emerald, let's get into it. And if you don't like crystals for the metaphysics, that's fine. That's fine. Everyone collects for a different reason, whether that be just for the rarity of it and to collect something pretty, or if you work with them in the metaphysical and energy sense, or both. Or if you just like pretty rocks, you know? There's no right way to appreciate crystals. I'm just gonna put that out there first. So, emeralds have a very deep connection with new beginnings, new love, and an optimistic outlook for the future. They are a life-affirming stone, and they open the heart chakra. A lot of green crystals do that. And they calm your emotions, which I love. They provide inspiration, balance, wisdom, and patience. So, thank you, Emerald, for that. I'm gonna go in with a deeper color, and I'm trying to remember, I should look at the picture that my inspo was and make sure that I'm following it. I don't know if I have a shimmery green like she does, though. I could mix in like some golds, I guess. Okay. That's green. That is green. Okay, so emeralds are said to promote friendship, peace, harmony, and domestic bliss by enabling the wearer to both give and receive unconditional love. So that's a huge theme of heart chakra stones, and emerald is no exception. So if you're feeling like you need a little bit of that in your life, maybe you need some emerald. Contrary to popular belief, emeralds are not historically associated with material wealth. This likely came about recently because at least American paper money is green, so a lot of people associate the color green with wealth. But historically, emeralds are not really prized for that metaphysically. It's more about that kind of unconditional love and affirming where you're going and kind of those like new beginnings and things like that. It promotes honesty and loyalty, so it's beneficial for business transactions, but not in like the bringing in money type of thing, but just for like, you want your transactions to be honest and loyal, right? And, you know, it's good for all types of partnerships like that, both romantic and business. Pretty. This is like a true green color. Like it's an emerald green, which I love. Because I was looking around like Sephora and Ulta, and they don't really have a lot of green options. So, thank you, College Kristen, for hoarding makeup like it's going out of style. So I have this green. Do those look even? Can you tell me if they look even? I think that's as close as we're gonna get. So pretty! Oh my god. Okay. I don't have a shimmery green though. I have like a dark shimmery green. Maybe I should do that and then a little bit of like a champagne on the inside. Emeralds fortify the spirit and help overcome misfortune. They bring a sense of joy, recovery, and rejuvenation to the downtrodden. So, love that for emerald. Yes, God. Is this doing anything? I feel like I need to do it with either a wet brush, probably a wet brush. Let's wet it. Emerald also will like bring your subconscious to the forefront and promote your self-awareness, you know? Emeralds have long been incorporated into religions and beliefs across the globe, largely in South America, ancient Egypt, and India, and that makes sense because of what we talked about earlier about where they were mined early on. Oh yeah, that helped. That helped a lot. And I think because if I have that dark, or that paint underneath, that green paint, the Vertigo shade, it's gonna keep that green tone. So knowing that emerald is pretty prevalent in a lot of religions, the symbolic necklace of Vishnu, it contained emerald, which represented the earth and the magnetic center of human passion. So that's an example in India. And I love that because I studied Hinduism, only one class in college, and it was just really cool to expose myself to like other belief systems and just kind of like a holistic religion like Hinduism. So I love that Vishnu had emerald. Emerald amulets are thought to prevent demonic possession, calm the storms at sea, strengthen love, promote intelligence, and confer the ability to foretell the future. Ooh. Ancient Egyptians believed that the precious gemstones, including emerald, contain powerful genies that had been turned into stone. Ooh. They used beads of emerald, carnelian, agate, lapis lazuli, and amethyst in necklaces to protect the wearer from a manner of all evil. So we know that Egyptians, they did love their gemstones, that's for sure. It's coming together, kids. It's coming together. If I like it before I put lashes on, that's a good sign. Because lashes make every look, honestly. Okay, and then I'm just going to put a little bit of a champagne-y shade on the inside. This one. See if that green underneath really lets it live. Ready? Gotta remember my looks are inspired by what I find on Pinterest, not direct replications, because I am not an expert, that's for sure. I think the last thing... Ooh, okay. Girl, that is not blended out there. It looks patchy on camera, but it's not in person, so I don't know what to tell you. Maybe a little. Maybe a little. What you can always do, at least I think, is to like soften the edges. So along with the Egyptians and the Indians, the Native Americans in the New World actually valued emeralds for their ability to burst fertility. And the inhabitants of the South Sea Islands believed that the beryl could be used to control the weather, bringing rain to friends and drought to foes. So lots of love and appreciation for emerald throughout time and history. I'm going to put some black in my waterline and also tightline. And then I'm going to do my lashes off camera just because those take forever. And I'll come back and we'll do highlighter and a lip and kind of close it out with astrology and birthstones for emerald. Holy moly, did that make a difference? I am wearing the Ardell Wispies, and then I use the new House Labs mascara. It's hard to judge a mascara with lashes on, but we'll see. Okay, so last is highlighter and lips. And we're going to close it out with astrology and birthstones for emerald. So I'm going to do this new setting spray and then do the highlighter on top of it so it has something to stick to. Oops. And this is the e.l.f. grip stuff too that goes with, it's like the Milk Makeup dupe. Honestly, love e.l.f. for giving us dupes that like actually work, because other shit's expensive. I can't get the stickies off. Goodness. Okay, so emeralds are associated with the planet Mercury, and Mercury is the planet of communication, which makes sense. So emeralds are believed to enhance mental ability, communication, and business. Okay. Which we talked about before. I'm gonna go in with my favorite highlighter. This is the Amrezy by Anastasia. When I run out of this, I will die because this was limited edition. Emerald is the birthstone for the month of May. So all you Tauruses, this one is yours. So it is the planetary stone of Taurus. And I do love my Tauruses, you little stubborn things. I love you, my fellow earth signs. It's also beneficial for Geminis, especially if you're a Gemini rising. Libras, also if you're a Libra rising. Virgos, which is me, because Mercury is the governing planet of Virgo, and Emerald is good for that planet, as we mentioned. And also good for Capricorns and Aquarius. That's not to say that anyone can't enjoy an emerald. You obviously can. If you're drawn to it, enjoy it. Love it. Thing I'm gonna do is put a little highlighter on my inner corner to really make it pop. Gold and green looks so good together. So good. And I love a lot of inner corner highlight. And then we'll put it under the brow bone too, because that really lifts your entire eye look, brightens the eye, cleans up the brow a little bit. See the difference? Maybe. I see it. Okay. All that's left is lips. Take down these clips from my hair. Hopefully my bangs calmed down on this side. Okay. Zhuzh it up a little bit. So for lips, I'm going to do the Jaclyn Coffee Cake Liner, which I obviously love. It's a little nub. Probably need to sharpen it. We're going to go with it though. Love a good brown lip. Kind of rub that in a little. And then I've got two of the Carly Bible lipsticks. I have Nicole, which is like this color, and then Ren's, which is her son's name, so cute. And look at the applique, like print on these, they're so cute. This one's like a little cooler toned, I think, and this one's a little warmer tones. I'm gonna go with Nicole, which is actually my middle name. And I think it's her best friend's name. That's why she named it this. Well, it matches that lip liner almost exactly. That's crazy. I think that's the look, guys. This is Emerald. Guys, I love how this look turned out. I love all the new products that I tried. And I love learning about emeralds and sharing it with you. So if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Please check out my other episode about moonstone if you haven't already. And also let me know in the comments what mineral I should do next, because the opportunities are unlimited. Honestly, we could do so many different looks. But thank you so much for watching. As always, my resources will be down in the description box if you want to do any reading on your own about emeralds. I appreciate you so much for making it this far. If you did, please check out my crystal shop. Go to Gaia Crystals if you haven't already. I'll also link that down in the description box. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day. Bye!